Matt Schlapp is a Trump supporter and chairman of the American Conservative Union, and David Leonhardt is the op-ed columnist with the New York Times. I want to get to all of you. Congresswoman, thank you for joining us. I was watching yesterday. Let me just get to the facts of how they have come to be today. The president's people are putting out, Spicer's putting out the word that somehow Comey did not say that the president's people are under investigation for their possible ties to the Russians. I thought that was the main thrust of the hearing yesterday, that is, in fact, the truth.
Well, I think that Director Comey said outright that they were investigating the coordination between Trump associates and campaign associates and Russia. I think that that definitely goes to the heart of that, and he's definitely investigating it.
Matt, I don't understand. What's the opposition? How is there any denial of what the FBI director put on the record yesterday? It's on the record. They're investigating him. He's the only one that knows what the FBI is doing. He says the FBI is investigating possible criminal activity by the Trump crowd during the campaign and dealing with the Russians. Isn't that a fact?
I listened to his answer, and I know there's two types of investigations the FBI can get engaged on. One is espionage. The other is personal criminal wrongdoing. I heard him answer that he's doing both. Yeah. That this is not only a question about Russia's...
Right. Well, then you're not challenging there is an investigation.
No, okay, Russia's influence and also what happened with the Trump campaign.
Well, let's go with this on the... Let's go. In the New York Times op-ed, by the way, all the president's lies. This fellow in front of me, David Leonhardt, states that not every untruth deserves to be branded with the L word because it implies intent, and somebody can state an untruth without doing so knowingly. But when it comes to President Trump, quote, he lies in ways that no American politician ever has before. He has lied about, among other things, Obama's birthplace. Think about that one. John F. Kennedy's assassination. Think Ted Cruz's father. September 11th, and the people who supposedly cheered. The Iraq War, ISIS, NATO, military veterans, Mexican immigrants, rapists, Muslim immigrants, anti-Semitic attacks, is said by people who are either Jewish or liberals, all that to make them look bad. Anyway, the unemployment rate, he's wrong on that. The murder rate, the electoral college, voter fraud, and his groping of women. I think, though, David, I think he was honest about his groping of women. We heard him in the bus. We heard honest statements there. We didn't like him.
No, right. He initially was, but he's now since claimed that he was lying and was locker room talk. He's now claiming he was lying then, but in fact the evidence suggests.
Well, let's talk about the one that's right there on the docket right now, that he said that President Obama wiretapped him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's clearly false.
Where did he get it from? Where did it come from at dawn on a Saturday morning when he started doing this thing on his tweeter? By the way, if he didn't have a tweet, I wonder if he'd be better off without that thing.
Well, he might be, right? Because we might not have had Comey testifying yesterday if he wasn't doing the tweets. Where we think it came from is there was some reporting by a combination of a website called Heat Street, the BBC, and The Guardian, which we think was accurate. Breitbart then took it, made it not so accurate, and Trump then took it from there and claimed that Obama...
Okay, let's take a look at these tweets, because I'm not going to let them go away. I think this is an indelible spot on this guy. In his series of tweets on March 4th, President Trump charged that former President Obama tapped his phones in Trump Tower during the campaign. Director Comey, by the way, summarily debunked those allegations, saying neither the FBI nor the Department of Justice had any evidence to support that. Let's listen from yesterday.
With respect to the president's tweets about alleged wiretapping directed at him by the prior administration, I have no information that supports those tweets, and we have looked carefully inside the FBI. The Department of Justice has asked me to share with you that the answer is the same for the Department of Justice and all its components. The department has no information that supports those tweets.
Well, Sean Spicer said yesterday that the president stands by his allegation about Obama wiretapping him, and he today dodged the question about whether the president will ever deliver the evidence he promised that Obama wiretapped. Here's Spicer.
Can we expect the president to this week present evidence that he was wiretapped by Barack Obama, or will he speak about it? Because he didn't mention it last night in his rally in Kentucky.
Right. Well, let's see how the week goes.
Congressman, I want to thank you on getting on the show tonight. But let me ask you about this this presidential lie, if you will. I don't see any basis for it. Do you? Why he said Obama wiretapped him? Where did it come from? I mean, why does he say these things? Obama was born in Kenya. Where does he make this stuff from? I mean, there's never any. He says he's got reporters out in Hawaii. He's got people digging up interesting. And then he embroiders it with all this nonsense about how he's working this case. I'm out there learning more. What do you think's in his brain that makes him do this to Obama, who was very, very nice to him? Very cordial, gracious. Did he resent the fact that Obama can be a gentleman? Is that what it is? I can't figure the psycho
I have no
part of this
idea.
part.
I have no idea why he says it, but here's what we know from yesterday. It's baseless as well as destructive. I think that what's at the heart of his problem is that he's lost credibility, not only with the American people, but also with other nations and our allies. I think we really should focus on the fact that by giving such baseless claims, he's making himself really incredible and not believable when things really matter.
Let me ask you, Matt, would you drop that if you were him? I mean, at some point you have to drop something. He keeps saying, I know Spicer's got a terrible job. Spicer's saying, well, someday he'll release it. You know, I remember O.J. saying he's going after the real murderer. Nobody believed it. Whatever you thought about the L.A. police, you didn't think there was somebody he's looking for out there. Nobody believed that.
Nobody likes being under investigation, but the fact is the Trump campaign is under investigation, and the FBI is looking at Russia's
But what about the charge of wiretapping by Trump?
He
said, tell me which part of this is true. He said, Trump said, in his tweet, which you can have, it'll be permanent, by the way, these tweets are going to go away. You can't revise them, you can't redefine them. He said, President Obama wiretapped me, sick. What part of that's true? Is Obama sick?
So far, we have no evidence that any of
it's true. Why did he say it?
But let me just try to say.
Why did he say it?
Because he believes that the Obama team surveilled the Trump team, and he believes it went far back. And they believe. Listen, Chris, I got to ask your question back. If Russia was involved,
Who is they? Who besides Trump personally believes he was wiretapped by the president?
I don't know who did.
Well,
That's why
you said they.
Well, they have an investigation to find out.
You said they. There are people that believe it. Do you believe it?
I believe that there was an investigation going into the Trump team.
Do you believe President Obama wiretapped President Trump?
No, I think the wiretap is a term that's not.
Oh, it's a nice term. What do you believe?
I think that Trump people were surveilled, and I think we were reading about it in your newspaper
by the FBI?
On January 19th over the fact that I don't know what arm it was.
What arm is this? There's the FBI. There's the FBI.
There's the FBI, which reports to DOJ.
And he denied it.
That's right.
So you're saying that Comey's a liar?
No, I'm saying.
Okay, who did it then if it wasn't the FBI?
Comey said that he has no evidence
and he
as
said
of now.
But Comey also said that no president has the right to do it, is what he said.
No individual.
No, he said you have to go to a court.
Well, who can go to a FISA court except...
He said DOJ did not go. That's what he said.
Well, then why are you going around circles with it? You got any evidence that happened? Any evidence that happened?
Can I answer?
Sure. That's a nice... I know you all learned at the Leadership Council. But the fact is, you keep saying, can I answer? I've asked you 3 times. You won't answer me. What evidence do you have that the president ordered the wiretap of this president?
As I told you, I don't buy into the wiretap question. Okay. I think the Trump people were surveilled, and that's what we've been reading about.
What do you mean by surveilled?
They use their devices. It's not the old days where you climb up a telephone pole and clip onto a wire.
Tell me what you mean.
We have these phones, and they're on, and that our government can listen to our phone calls. You know that. That's
what
how
evidence
Mike
do you have
Flynn
that happened?
That's how Mike Flynn was unmasked.
What evidence do you have?
I don't. I want to see the answers of this
You know
investigation.
what? If somebody accused me of wiretapping somebody, I would take that seriously, and I'd say either it's true or it's false. You're admitting that's false. So you say there was some other surveillance done by perhaps somebody else.
True.
Or somebody else could have done it. But Obama did not wire... David,
I think the thing to remember,
there's no evidence, by the way. Comey made it so clear yesterday. He said, I've checked with everybody else in the Justice Department, so that includes Sessions people. Nobody has any evidence of President Obama seeking a FISA warrant to wiretap Trump. It never happened. So they're going all these other directions. Yeah.
There's zero evidence of it, and there's lots of evidence that the current president tells a lot of untruths, right? Yeah. So put those two together. I think the thing to remember is the Obama administration was extremely small-c conservative with this Russia investigation. They knew that the FBI was concerned about links between the Trump campaign and Russia. And instead of going out and broadcasting that, Obama decided to keep it quiet because he thought it would look partisan. And so this notion that Obama was engaged in this aggressive campaign against Trump just doesn't fit with reality. If anything, Obama underreacted to the potential ties between